Hello and welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining me. We are going to talk about product photography, and I'm new to YouTube, so going to just double check that I have my YouTube settings all set up right, that we are live, that you guys can see me. I think everything is good. I just want to make sure that you guys can see me. And okay, I think we're good. Oh, forgot to talk about. Shh, stop. I don't want you to hear me twice. Okay. All right. So if you're here and you can see me, it says you're watching. So if you, I don't know if you have a place to comment or not. It's a good question. Okay. But I have a presentation, you guys, from Etsy on Etsy product photography. Like photography. Stop. Okay, there we go. Okay. I know the screen is weird. I'm going to fix it. But if you guys don't know me yet, I'm Lauren Kilgore. This is my channel, Beautiful Mesh. This is my shop on Etsy. I also am a wreath maker, make other home decor and stuff, but also I am an Etsy U instructor, and so as part of that program, I am here to provide you with some information straight from Etsy. This is their slide presentation. It's a little bit long, so I might have to skip through some parts of it because I don't know how they thought I was going to get through 80 some slides. I think it's at least 80 some slides in an hour, but we will get through as much as we can. Oh, good. We have, hi, Eloisa. All right, good. Okay, so we do have comments. So I am live. I did figure out that part at least. Okay, so you're here to learn about photography. So let me put myself down in the corner and let me see if I can pull up here we go. My notes, this live, a lot of different things. I'm trying to make sure that you can see me, but see the program. All right, let's see here. Big enough. Awesome. Okay, I think we might be there. Yay! Okay, so again, if you don't know me yet, I'm Lauren Kilgore, and you can find my Etsy shop at Beautiful Mesh, and I also have my where I teach Etsy sellers just like you to sell on Etsy is through Handmade Sellers University. So I am a former accountant turned wreath maker turned Etsy expert, and I just love to be able to teach my experience and let other sellers to be successful as well. Okay, so a little bit of what we're going to go through. We're going to go through the importance of photography, a little bit about photography and video, what equipment you might need, how to style some Etsy photos, and like just what makes a good photo. I think that's really important when it comes to your listing photos, because funny enough, it's one of the most important things when it comes to somebody's buying decision. It has a really big impact on buyer behavior. So think about like when you go online, what influences you to purchase something. Product photos are definitely one of the top ways that gets people to purchase. Okay. So when a buyer searches for an item, your main photo is what grabs their attention. What's what makes them want to click, right? So the other photos, you have one that comes up in search, and that's the one that entices them to click. And then you get 9 more, and with those, you can use those to answer questions and give them more details about your product. And those are the ones that really compel them to purchase. So when deciding on your main listing photo, make sure it looks good viewed on a, desktop and on mobile, because remember, mobile is really small. And that's the way most people are shopping nowadays. So definitely my picture is over the top slide. Okay, hold on. Your picture is over the top. Well, I thought I put myself small in the corner. Oh, I didn't. Enough. Okay, hold on. Hold tight. Because according to this, I did, but not. All right. Hang tight. See, I told you I'm not exactly, whoops, the best at this. Because I see in my screen, it's tiny. Okay, hold on. I have to figure this out. How do I make this one go tiny? Oh, maybe? Whoa, hold up. I'll move me back down here. But I'm still like in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle. Ah, that doesn't help, does it? I'm like stuck in, my video is in the middle of the thing. It's tinier, but it's like in the middle. That doesn't help either, does it? Yeah, okay, that's where it is on mine too. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know, does anyone know how to use OBS? Because I don't know how. Not anything that I am real familiar with. We might have to do it with me like in the middle. I don't know how to move it. Well, we might just have to do it this way. I don't even know how I got that like that. But maybe it'll still be okay. Why is it? Got that one. That one. Okay. How do I? Ugh. Almost made myself disappear. Maybe I want to make myself disappear. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Well, hopefully it doesn't mess up the slides too much. Sorry, guys. I'm just not real familiar with how OBS Studio works. Trying to share my screen and do like a YouTube. Anyway, well, here's the point I'm trying to make is that the quality of your images is number one. So when it comes to what entices somebody to buy or not, it's not price, which is funny when you think about it. It's actually the picture. So it's not price, it's not shipping costs, and it's not reviews. It's your picture. That's what influences their decision to purchase. So when people say, you know, pictures are super important, this is why they say that. And here's just some other, some pictures that Etsy gave that were really good ideas, or really good ones that are, you know, that they love, that they wanted to show examples of. And when you're looking at them, I mean, to me, what I notice most is that most of them are lifestyle shots. They're not just shots of the item itself. They are of the item in use, or with a background that's somewhat neutral, but and lets the item stand out, but it's still styled. So obviously, if you've ever shopped online, you know the types of images you expect to see before you make a purchase. Etsy buyers can't pick up a product like they do in a store. Remember, they can't walk into a boutique and look at what you have. And so you need to be able to show them the size, the colors, the little details, all these things in just a few pictures. You know, thankfully we get 10 now. We used to only get 5. But you need to be able to show people use your pictures to answer the questions that they would ask. And that will really encourage them to purchase. So what's considered a good photo? Listing photo should clearly convey, obviously, what the item is. I know my picture is in the middle here. The thumbnail picture should clearly highlight the whole item. You need good lighting, obviously. And the best photos illustrate all facets of your product to help shoppers make confident, informed purchases. Like how big is it? What's it made of? How is it packaged? And you can show all those things with a good photo. I really wish I could move my picture. Oh, hold please. Did that move me? Why do I feel like it moved? I don't know, but it moved somewhere. I don't know. I'm just going to let it go there. Okay. So photo quality. Obviously, are there enough photos for me to understand what this item is? Do the photos answer any questions or concerns I have about the item? Does the photo look professional? Tell me if you can see this slide better, you guys. So photos can really convey whether or not you're a professional shop, and they can really convey, whether or not someone can trust you as a buyer or as a seller. Because, if you have some kind of, not so great looking photo and it's blurry and it's, it's hard to see what the item is, you kind of have a little bit less trust in somebody's ability to create that handmade thing. If they can't even take a picture of it, well, it makes it difficult to kind of trust how well they could have made the product itself. Here's some other really nice photos. And again, they don't have to be on like just a white background, but something that's light that lets the item stand out. Again, here's some more. Again, a lot of these really styled lifestyle shots. You're not just seeing the table by itself on a white wall. You are seeing it in a space. You're not just seeing a vase by itself in a light box. You're seeing it with others and with some flowers in them to show what they're used for, how tall they might be, things like that. So again, the best product photos grab the attention of shoppers and compel them to click. They will display the product clearly. It communicates important information and captures both the purpose and feeling of the product. And the biggest thing I think that I always try and tell my students is that you need to get these buyers to imagine the product in their own lives. So that's why I feel so strongly about those lifestyle photos. As somebody who has a hard time judging size and colors and stuff of things online, I need to see it in its natural habitat. I need to see it in the space where you intend it to be used. And then that's going to help me. Like, I just don't have that, I don't know, that brain, that spatial relationship to be able to understand where to put it or how to use it unless you literally show me in a photo. And I know I'm not the only one. So, show the product how you intend it to be used. So there's obviously some other places in your shop that you can use photos. Your shop banner, your shop icon, that's the one to the left of your shop name, your personal avatar, which is the picture of you on the right side, and then in your about section. So you can add images to all of those places. That helps to really personalize your shop and gives people more understanding of your brand and gets them to that know, like, and trust. So here's some examples that Etsy gave of some cohesive, but also really well thought out, that top real estate of your shop when you have the banner, the shop icon, and the picture of you. And they coordinate, they look really pretty, and they're, they show exactly what they need to. Here's one more up at the top, and down here at the bottom is some about sections. So you can add more photos down in your about section to show off, how you're making your product, or, how more things of how you would style it. And then there's listing videos. that allows you to showcase your products in ways that aren't possible with static photographs. So it's kind of cool, a cool little addition. We've been asking for videos for years, and finally we got them. And again, because it's one of those things where there's some certain aspects of products that you really can't see in 2D. You can't see on a flat photo. So being able to get your camera and move it around the product, or have the camera steady and move your product in the frame, however you want to do it, so that you really show people more aspects and more, how it moves, and more of, depth you can't really see in 2D. So showing them some of those other things is really helpful when it comes to listing videos. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I do everything with my smartphone. So taking listing videos with your smartphone, I mean, nowadays, probably almost every smartphone out there right now is good enough quality to be able to handle it. Use an uncluttered backdrop. As always, make sure your phone is charged and that you have enough storage space. Okay, yada, yada. Choose a spot to film with plenty of indirect natural light. Stabilize your camera. I mean, these are all, pretty generic things you should know already when it comes to how to do a video. I will say that if you have trouble keeping things steady, put your phone on a tripod and move your product. So either, take your photos that way on a tripod. If you want to do a video, maybe you leave the camera on a tripod and you move the product. That way, if you have a hard time, getting it, maybe it's too fast or it's too slow or it's too jittery or whatever, you make sure you're using a tripod. Here's an example of a listing photo. It was kind of cool, like this kaleidoscope thing that somebody made. And they just show what it kind of looks like. And that's the product. It's kind of cool. So, videos they don't have to be of just the product. I've seen people do videos in a bunch of different ways. You could do videos showing the product. You can do videos of packaging. You could do videos showing how parts of it go together. Maybe you have something that needs to be somewhat assembled, and a quick video showing how that works is kind of cool. Or, it's just videos that address those common questions. So if you have a question that people are asking you all the time about your product, make a video and put that in your listing. Here's another one, and they're just showing literally how they painted or hand painted the product. So you could do that as well. Here's I think it's for a head wrap or a towel or something, and they're showing how it's used. And just a real quick little video to show people how to twist it up, how to put it on your head. Voila. It's kind of cool. Kind of just teaches people what to do with it. Here's another one. This is showing, I think, more of an in-process photo or video. So that's, you can do that as well. Kind of showing the process of making the thing. Okay, so I hesitated putting this section in here about photography equipment because honestly, I just use my smartphone for everything, but Etsy wants you to know about all of the options when it comes to photography, so I will show you. Okay, so there's obviously different types of cameras and editing tools and apps and things. Again, I do everything with my smartphone. Anyone else, like a smartphone user? Tell me, you guys that are here, do you do smartphone or do you do a fancy camera? Because there are people that are really good with the fancy cameras. I have a fancy camera. I just don't really use it. But there are 4 types of cameras you can use. You can use your smartphone. You can use just a regular point and shoot camera. You can use a DSLR, which are those fancy ones with the detachable lenses, or you could use a mirrorless system. Obviously, there are pros and cons to each, and here's the 4 different ones that there are. All smartphone. Yeah, I mean, nowadays smartphones are probably are pretty good. Both, okay? I mean, if you know are an expert at using your fancy camera, I would say use it. You're going to get better results. But if you are a maker and you don't know how to use a fancy camera and don't have the time to learn all that, I would say probably don't worry about it and just stick with your smartphone. It's just one more thing you don't have to add to your plate. Photography accessories, obviously there's lenses and tripods and you can get light boxes and bounce cards, and which helps the light bounce off of so that it illuminates from the other side. I mean, there's a lot of equipment that you can buy. Depends obviously on the product that you have. I will say for my products, so I make wreaths. So for me, it's kind of cool. It's kind of nice that I can just take my photos outside and I don't got to worry about all this extra stuff. But for people that have smaller products and are taking them inside, yeah, you might need to go and think about light boxes or indoor lighting. Indoor lighting, if you don't have any of this stuff, trying to take pictures inside with your overhead lights is just going to look terrible. So if you are taking photos inside, you are going to need to invest in some of this better lighting. Otherwise, it's going to look way too dark. If you have really small items, you might want to invest in a macro lens. You can also get them that work with smartphones, and that helps you get real close up to the finer details of your product. Depends, obviously, again, depends on what you have. If you have something that's maybe you sell vintage products and you need to be able to show some really smaller details of the products, or maybe you have earrings, or maybe anything that's small and you need to show those small details, you might need a lens like that. Again, I really push a tripod. If your photos are at all blurry, get a tripod to take your photos so that they're always clear and always steady. Lighting tools, there are lots of different ways that you can do lighting. You can use, again, natural lighting. If you have something that you can take outside, that's the easiest, cheapest, most economical. That's what I do. But if you need to take things inside, like I said, invest in some light boxes, not ring lights. Ring lights are great for doing social media and videos and stuff like that, but they're a light with a hole in the middle. So you're not getting good light on your product because there's a dark hole right in the middle. So if you're going to get lighting, I would say, sorry, my cat is knocking down everything here. I would say invest in some more like light boxes or softbox lights, something that would give you better lighting control. And you're going to need at least 2 or 3 of them. And those are those softbox lights in the middle. A light box on the right, that's great for smaller items. You can get a piece of paper or a backdrop. This one on the left really is nice for that seamless background. And those in the bottom left corner, those are those what do they call them? Light reflectors that they can bounce light off. There's different flashes and stuff. Again, now I will say there's a whole lot of photo editing apps out there, and I have a whole PDF that I'm going to give you guys at the end that has my favorite ones in it. The ones that so much you can do with your photo, your camera app that comes with your phone. You don't need normally to make a whole bunch of edits, but if you want to, there are a lot of apps that you can use, like Snapseed, Visco, Lightroom, if you know how to do Photoshop. Most of what I do is cropping to make sure that I have nothing else in my photo but my product. I I adjust the brightness and the shadows a little bit. If I need to adjust the white balance, I do that. That's pretty much all I do with my photos. But again, it depends on what kind of products you have. But usually, again, because I have natural light, it doesn't need a whole ton of adjusting. But if you're inside, sometimes you might have to play with the colors a little bit. You might have to play with the white balance a little bit to get it to look right. Aim for a higher image resolution for your listing photos. This will result in clearer and sharper images. You might get that little yellow triangle on when you try and add a listing photo into Etsy that says that the quality is not good. Normally, I just totally bypass that because it's fine. But you know, aim for the biggest resolution that you can. And then when it comes to styling, photo styling, so consistency is key. We always want to make sure that your product is what is shown, and that's what stands out in the photo. Even if you're styling it with other things in the shot, that your product is what people are drawn to and what they are really see more than anything else. Here's a couple of ideas. So like there's the candle, and you know there's other things in the shot, but what our eye is drawn to first is the candle. And if you have anything that's seasonal, style it with seasonal props. So you can, you know, if you have something for spring, you know, you can put spring flowers in it. If you have something for Christmas, you can put a Christmas tree in it. So making sure that you're styling your products seasonally can also really help. So here's a couple of ideas. So they have these candles in like winter scents, and it has a cozy little blanket and some evergreen. So the way it's styled is not just the candle in a light box or the candle, you know, against a white background and nothing else in the photo. Or it's not just, you know, these plant markers on a table. It's actually styled with, here's the twine, and here's a succulent, and here's the dirt. So you really get the idea from the photo what these things are for. So here's some other options. So like this candle, they're putting it, it's like a little fall themed, probably a fall themed scent. That would be my guess from that photo. And then the beach print, it's with like a little beach hat. The stockings, obviously, in their natural habitat, hanging from a mantle with a garland. A Mother's Day card styled with some stamps, some cute stamps. So photography backgrounds help you set the stage for your images and create a sense of atmosphere. So always choose a simple and uncluttered background so that your product can be the star. And, you know, we want that to be what people are paying most attention to. It says if you're looking to grab attention for ads or offsite ads, a light background tends to look most professional and complements almost all products well. That doesn't mean it has to be white. It can be like, I have a gray door for my background, which is fine. So it all just kind of depends, so it doesn't have to be white, but light-ish does tend to look the best. And this is a shop that has that light background, but what you notice the most is how cohesive this shop is and how everything kind of looks the same. And when you scroll through the shop, it all has the same background. We're not jumping around to different colors and different patterns in the background. The products are what we see different, not the backgrounds. And that's what you want. Here's another couple of good examples that Etsy has provided. So there's a couple of, you know, options that you have. You can get placemats, you can use fabric, Be careful with fabric a little bit though, because sometimes the wrinkles can look a little bit messy. I will say sometimes fabric isn't the best. But you could use poster boards, you can use tiles, you can use fake backdrops. So like this backdrop behind me is like sticky wallpaper from Walmart. So you can get that and attach it to a wall, attach it to a piece of wood, anything. You can get backdrops off Amazon that, photo backdrops, and use those for, there's a lot of options that you have when it comes to styling a photo. Here's another couple of options. The fabric in this one I think doesn't look too distracting, but I have seen some that just look messy. It just looks like the sheet wasn't ironed or something, rather than, this looks like not that it was meant to be crumpled like that, but otherwise it's ironed. It drives me crazy when people use one that's like not ironed. Obviously you can also go outdoors. So it depends on the product that you have. If you're selling outdoor products, take them outdoors. It gives the buyers a sense of what it looks like in real life again. So hats outside on a really cold day. I think the photo on the left, I'm not sure if it's showing the bunny or the bench. I'm not exactly sure, but both are meant to be outside, so I got it. And use props to your advantage if it makes sense. Obviously, make sure they don't detract from your product. Make sure that they don't, stand out, that they actually just complement what you're trying to photograph. Because you don't want people to notice them as like their eye goes to those things first. You want them just to be as something that complements the photo, but not something that really stands out but so much. So here's some other options. So I guess this is a pencil holder, and so they've just styled it with some pencils. A calendar, but they put it like on a desk scene. A business card holder, and a bath salts. So just, literally just the smallest little, so it's on like a little round something with two tiny little flowers and a little bit of a leaf. Like that's all you need to make that style. And it looks way more interesting than than if they had just had that bottle on a plain background. Here's some other cool ones. Hopefully you're kind of getting the vibe from these photos of what Etsy is looking for. And you can also get that vibe when you're looking through, if you ever get Etsy emails, the ones that they feature tend to be the ones, obviously, that they're not going to pick a crappy picture to feature. Sorry, they're just not. So there's 7 types of photo types of photos that Etsy would suggest that you put in your listings. The studio shot, the lifestyle shot, the scale shot, the detail, a group shot, a packaging shot, and a process shot. So again, you get 10 photos, including that one video. So if you can do all of these, you will fill up most of them. It doesn't matter if you fill them all up. It doesn't matter for the algorithm, but your customers will like it. Here is a studio shot where it's literally just the product with like no background or a very light background. This isn't background removed. So this is, because sometimes the background remover can make your products look a little spammy and scammy and can kind of make it look like it's floating in air. So rather than that, here it is on a white background, but just not background removed. Here's a lifestyle shot. So these are these cushions that they're selling, and they're just showing how the kids are using them. Here's a scale shot. So they actually have the earring on someone's ear so that you can actually see how big it is on someone's head, which is helpful. Here's a detail shot. So this is where those macro lenses would really come into play. They've really, zoomed in on, the fibers of this so that people can really see its texture. Here's a group shot. So they sell soaps and they put them all together, and it kind of, rather than just selling, having a photo of one, it kind of looks cool as a group. Color wise, it fills up the frame more. It just shows, the different options all in one image. So that's kind of a cool idea if you have something that you can sell in multiple colors or multiple styles. You could also show how you package it. So or what is all included in what you get. Here is an in-process shot. So this is somebody making the product. You could take a photo of that. Again, you can have up to 10 photos on every listing. The more you have, the better. Again, it's a customer thing, not an algorithm thing. But your customers will, with more photos, there is statistics that the more photos you have and the better that they are, the more sales that you will have. So if you offer different options for an item, you can put in, different options for variations. This is kind of a cool product. It shows it on different dogs. It shows the sizing chart. It shows it by itself. Different angles, different dogs. So different ways to use it. And when they're talking about variation photos, you can tag, when you're setting up a listing and you're setting up variations, you can have, choose the item that goes with the variation. That's helpful for when customers are picking a variation so that they know exactly which one it is they're buying because it shows up there. Sometimes people don't know the difference between products or whatever. But this way it will show them which one they picked, and when they go to checkout, that's the image that is in their checkout, not the first image. It's the one for the variation that they picked. So that's helpful. Okay, so Photoshoot. So here's a little checklist. Schedule time for your photo shoot, plan out your shots, gather your equipment, set up your background, make sure you have good lighting, make sure you are steadying the camera, take the picture, and then edit the picture. Pretty self-explanatory. Here is some photography inspiration. So these are editor's picks. These will always be, really good photos. Obviously, again, they're not going to pick bad photos to put there. Recap, we don't need to have that. Well, I guess we could. But why photography is so important? Again, it's, because customers can't come into your shop and can't pick up your item. There are other photos outside of your listing photos. We talked about your banner, your shop icon. Make sure you're using all 10 photo slots. Style your photos and use props where it makes sense. Choose photography equipment and don't go overboard with editing and props and things like that. If you want to download my guide for photography, and it's all about taking it with a smartphone, just hold your smartphone up to this QR code and you can download my free product photography guide. And that just gives you some information on my favorite lighting, my favorite apps, my favorite backgrounds and stuff. And I have links in there to these products so you don't have to go searching for them. So if you want to grab that. Does anybody have any photography related questions? I'm sorry that the beginning, the video was a little bit not in the right spot, but yeah, does anyone have any questions when it comes to taking good photos, or what photos should be on your listings, or what to put where? Does anyone have any questions before I sign off? I'm going to be doing more of these on different topics, so make sure that you're watching the seller events page on Etsy. If you're on my email list, I will be sending out emails as well for that. If you want to get on my email list, if you scan this QR code, and put in your email. You'll get on my email list, so you'll be notified when I do another one like this. We have all kinds of things that we can talk about. Branding, photography, ads. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we can talk about. If you guys have any thoughts or questions on certain topics that you are looking for, definitely let me know. I think that's it. If nobody has any questions, I think that is it. So yeah, download the guide and make sure you just keep up with those seller events, and hope you enjoyed this little presentation straight from Etsy and Etsy U, and I will see you guys again. Bye guys.